Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering. Off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I don't review stuff from this particular establishment often. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, you know it, you love it, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, though? Happens to be my Not My God shirt. Yeah, I love the design. It's very simple, but also very striking. But what the hell is Not My God? Well, it isn't any sort of anti-religious declaration or anything like that. Were a musical project / band. More of a musical project than anything. Specifically between two guys, Tim Skold and Nero. Excuse me. Two titans within the industrial music arena decided several years ago, at the time I'm doing this, to get together and start up a collaborative project. And, they did their thing and, took their shot with it. Sadly, at this point, it is a past tense thing. They really just kind of did their one little run with it. But I was a big fan. I actually got to see them perform live, which was really cool because it was the only tour they ever did. I actually have videos of their performance on my channel, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I think they're incredible. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? What establishment do I not frequent that often? Well, and it's nothing against them, by the way. I just don't hit them up very often. Happens to be, boom, Chipotle. The thing with Chipotle is that, I'll get Chipotle every now and again, but they're not a place that I really think about. And especially when it comes to doing review stuff, it's I need to wait for them to come out with something new and interesting. And they don't do that often. But recently, boom, what are these? These are tacos from Chipotle, as you might have figured. I also think it's funny how they're kind of doing it street taco style and now just in the foil. But okay. But the whole hitch of these particular tacos is that these are featuring their new protein option, their Chipotle honey chicken. Okay. So, 2024 was kind of the year of hot honey as a flavor. In fact, I have an entire playlist called Hot Honey is the Money. That's where this review is going to end up. And it's still going on. It did its 2024 thing, but it's still going. So, whatever, man. So I went over there and got myself some tacos. Obviously, you put it together what you want. I tried to keep it fairly simple. I just got a little brown rice, some black beans, and some cheese, and then, the actual meat itself. So, let's try to get a thing for the thing. It's not the sexiest looking thing in the world, is it? That's alright. Doesn't have to be. Just, we'll do it like that. We'll go, ha 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 ha! And let's try out some honey chipotle chicken. Are you a thing? No, okay. Let go. Let go. Maybe have actual containers. Maybe the street taco thing doesn't work too well for Chipotle. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's got that Chipotle taste, for better or for worse. I know a lot of people like to dunk on Chipotle, but I'm fine with Chipotle. Obviously it's not going to taste as good as proper street tacos, but that's not terrible. The tacos themselves, again, definitely all around kind of inferior to proper tacos, but main thing we're talking about here is the protein itself. And that's actually specifically why I went over there and got it in taco format, because normally I get burritos from Chipotle. But I figured for simplicity's sake and for sort of experiencing the protein, I figured tacos would probably make more sense. It's actually pretty nice. It has that sort of Chipotle kind of smoked pepper kind of flavor to it. It's got a little heat, not a lot, but it warms up your mouth. It's nice and tender. And yeah, it's a little bit sweet, a little bit savory, and a little bit of heat. It's not like overly sweet. I know, some people, if you're not into like sweet and savory as a flavor combination, this I don't think you have to worry about too much. Think almost like sort of along the lines of like a honey glazed ham kind of thing. That's kind of the level of sweetness, where like it's more just kind of a slight sweet accent to everything else going on. But it's mostly savory and a little bit spicy. But yeah, I mean, sure, it's a little bit gimmicky, but like, it's actually pretty well executed and it's tasty. I actually really enjoy that. Because again, I like the hot honey type of vibe anyway, but at the same time, you have to implement it correctly, and I've certainly had stuff that I don't feel I implemented it very well. In this, I think that they did right by it, because they maintained like the essence of the protein. It's not overly sweet. It doesn't taste like a gimmicky protein. It tastes like a proper chicken protein that just has kind of a little bit of a different, vibe to it. But actually, like I said, I like that. I like the sweetness. I like the heat. I like the savoriness, and I like the fact that it, like I said, it doesn't feel too gimmicky. It just feels, like a new option. That's good. But two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I have to go with yes and yes. I think for me personally, like, I could actually, typically if I go to Chipotle, my go-to protein is the barbacoa, but I'll switch it up a little bit here and there. This is something where, like, I could actually see this being something that would draw me in a little bit more often. Because, like I said, I don't do Chipotle all that often. Because at the end of the day, I can get better barbacoa at other places. This is something where, yeah, I can definitely get better chicken at places, but I can't get, Chipotle honey chicken, and I do like that about it. It's really, like I said, I think it's a cool combination of flavors. And even if the taco itself isn't really all that fantastic, like, I'm willing to live with that if I get to have that unique experience every now and again. And again, the taco itself isn't terrible, so it's workable for me. Now, if I'm recommending it, I'm not going to say you have to go out and grab it, but I will say, if you're like me, where you're an occasional Chipotle enjoyer, this could be, like I said, something to go over there and be like, all right, you know what, let me go ahead and get that. Maybe that'll be something to make you think about Chipotle just a little bit more, And if you're somebody who's already there, you're already doing it, no reason to not try it. Like, I genuinely think it's surprisingly tasty, and I think really well executed. It's flavorful, and again, it doesn't come off as gimmicky. It just tastes like a nice, option to have. But 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly hot honey-tastic rest of your life, because again, hot honey is really good, and it's just a tasty flavor combination. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating, and it's just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there, whenever possible, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, do you think that hot honey has run its course? You know, that we, like I said, now that we're in 2025, yeah, because, I mean, well, there was something else recently. Subway, they also did a hot honey thing. I haven't gotten to that yet. But there's still, and I think Jersey Mike's might have too, still a thing. But do you think it's kind of done, or do you think there's still momentum? Let me know. Hit me up in the comments.